Well, today in Charleston, the people held a mourning service. What comes next is the search for solutions. In a new interview this morning, Republican Senator from South Carolina, Tim Scott, argued that gun control will not prevent this from happening again.
The gun laws that were broken did not stop this monster, this killer, from carrying out his acts. What I do know is that the gun laws that prevented him from bringing a gun into the church did not work. So looking for the right legislative solution to make sure that it doesn't happen again, I think when there's that much evil in the heart, it is hard to think of the right legislative solution for that problem.
Joining me now is former Vermont Governor and DNC Chairman Howard Dean and Republican strategist Ron Christie, who served as a special assistant to President George W. Bush and deputy assistant to Vice President Cheney. Gentlemen, guys, good to see you both. Ron, I'm going to reach out to you first here because you just heard Senator Scott. He advocates rather for gun ownership have this effective tagline. I know you know it, and it goes as this: guns don't kill people, people kill people. Yesterday, I spoke to Mark Morial from the Urban League, and he turned that around and he said, people with guns kill people. Isn't that more accurate?
Well, good afternoon, Alex. I think that is accurate, but I think that at a time when we haven't even had the opportunity to mourn for those who lost their lives, to mourn for the family members who are grieving, the thing we shouldn't be doing is talking politics and talking about gun control laws.
Okay, you know what? I hear you, Ron, and I got to say this, but this is one of those issues. I try to stay neutral on this broadcast and let you, Democrats and Republicans alike, fight. I'm so angry about this. I can't see straight. I'm so angry that people have to be mourning the loss of life. There's got to be something we can do. I respect the fact that we have to all be allowing time for mourn and respect and love and remembrances right now. But after that period, then what?
Well, I don't think a gun control law like the president has proposed is the solution, Alex. You're talking about an assault weapon, which this wasn't. It was a pistol. You're talking about a high-capacity magazine. This was a pistol, so you didn't have that. And then the third thing the president has been advocating, of course, is a background check. The father, in this case, Dylan Roof's father, improperly gave him a firearm. He shouldn't have had that gun because he was underlying a pending drug charge.
I don't think he gave him the firearm. I believe he went out and bought it himself. I believe that is misinformation that was put out that he was given this gun for his birthday. I actually think he went and bought it himself.
Regardless, Alex, I think, again, if you look at the president's proposals, would he have been caught in a background check if that's true? And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. We just need to find a way to keep these mentally ill people off of the streets to do horrible things like that.
And guns out of their hands.
And guns out of the hands of those criminals, no question.
So, Governor, President Obama said in this podcast we played a little bit of with Kristen's report there that gun reforms just aren't going to get through Congress. They didn't get through after 20 children were killed in Newtown. They're not going to get through after 9 people were killed in Bible study inside of church. Is that a failure of the left? Where is the disconnect when you have 90% of the American population saying they want to see something done? Gun control, something, anything. What's happening? What's the holdup?
First of all, let me strongly disagree with Ron's arguments. We've had 2 years to mourn for the 20 kids who were killed in Newtown. So to say we shouldn't do politics at this time because we're in mourning is nonsense. There's a lot of people who have been mourned in the last few years. Aurora, Colorado, et cetera, et cetera. What the president is doing exactly the right thing. We need background checks, and we need to stop the huge loophole of gun shows. People ought to have to do background checks if they buy a gun at a loophole. Look, with Ron's attitude and the others who make this argument with him, we'd have 25 more September 11th. We did a lot of stuff in the background after September 11th to stop it from happening again, and so far, knock on wood, it has not happened again. This is a national tragedy. It's a national disaster. Our policy is screwed up because politicians are afraid. And I think maybe in the next Congress, here's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is the Republican Party once again is going to be branded as far right and unreasonable and extremist because of things like this. And eventually we will get a Congress who wants to do some reasonable things about it, as Bill Clinton did when he was president.